But yeah, I'm just surprised that the Swain didn't end up moving a little bit sooner. His now, Jana, no flash.
Heal, flash, auto attack, first blood. Froggy is the one to pick that one up. And Evelyn Bot is in the area. Descent does drop the Rift Guard. They're going to look to engage. It's going to be a Cataclysm getting dropped down, but Vagar got pulled into the Cataclysm, which could be trouble.
Ooh.
Down goes Evelyn Bot. Down goes the Vagar as well. Hugs Descent and the support on the one side, but they're going to be the ones to get engaged on. Ultimate coming out for the Malphite onto the Vagar, but the Vagar is still okay.
It is always a great time to be here for ECC Valorant, but what makes it even more special now, Septilance, is that we have entered into the quarterfinals. Hello everyone, my name is Sam Talks, and of course, the aforementioned Septilance joining me here for what I am sure is going to be a crazy ride between our two teams, College of Staten Island versus Molloy University. And Septilance, two teams making it to the quarterfinals. It's not easy, and we also kind of get an idea, you know, the number 2 going up against the number 6 team, that tonight's going to be a certified banger, I think.
Yeah, so, I'm glad you paint that picture earlier, right? That we are looking at 2 versus 6. We are going to be seeing a bit of a distance between these teams. So we are expecting Molloy, that number 2 seed, to come out pretty darn strong, but they only get to pick one of the 2 opening maps. So maybe CSI, the College of Staten Island, can kind of flip the script, perform a little bit higher of their own caliber. And before we jump in, because we know the players are ready, we can take a look at the chosen maps tonight, which, from what I've heard, has quite a good surprise, and it's split into Bind, into Ascent. So Sam, we are running down arguably the 2 most claustrophobic maps back to back here.
And I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it, right? You don't have Haven. That's the
Haven.
That to me is like the collegiate map. I think I saw a statistic earlier tonight that Haven is picked like 30% of the time. An insane statistic coming out of that map. But yeah, starting off on Split, this is going to be the map choice of Molloy, then going into Staten Island's pick of Bind. And so, of course, Ascent's always got to be there. Ascent being that decider.
Split. Ascent being permanent, you know, he's always in there somewhere.
It's like that sneaky little gremlin that just always comes back no matter what you can do about it. Still though, we're going to look at Split to be our starter map. It's kind of like one of those maps that came back after it was gone for a little while, and then everybody was formulating ways to go about it. But I think at this stage of the game, we already really know how it's going to work. Now, there is an interesting player from Molloy University who goes by the name of TN6. And TN6, a big gamer, also a big Chamber player. And this is kind of one of those maps where Chamber could potentially come out. We could potentially see that from TN6 over there on the side of Molloy. And in fact, we're already getting our duelist set up and ready to go. Fortunately for me, no Chamber. They're gonna play it safe with that KJ and TN6 on the sky. But we're having the double duelist here from Molloy Septilance.
Yeah, the double duelist is something that we really haven't been seeing a lot of recently, or I guess in the priors, but as of recently, it is making its way into the forefront a little more consistently, and I'm looking forward to seeing it because on these claustrophobic maps, on these maps like Split and Bind, where your duelist is often the one kind of ripping off the band-aid, so to speak, creating that space for your team, having 2 of them certainly not going to hurt, you know what I mean?
No, it's not. Right, being able to get in there fast, and if you lose one, you still have another one to be able to bring you in there, which is why we're seeing the Jet and the Rays, 2 of those duelists who I consider the space-making agents. College of Staten Island is going to be playing this one really interestingly here, Septilance. At the very least, what we're seeing from what they're hovering on top of right now. Still have 20 seconds to deliberate and make those decisions. But what am I seeing right now with my own 2 eyes? Maybe with your 2 eyes as well.
Hey, I have 4.
Oh, you have 4. I felt like that'd be rude to say. You know, I didn't want to be mean like that. Like, look at 4 eyes over here. But
I appreciate the concerns, but unfortunately, they are inevitable. They are a fundamental part of my vision. So I love them for what they are. But I mean, we're definitely looking at something interesting here on Split. We're seeing the Astra and we're seeing the Cypher. We're seeing a lack thereof, though, a Viper, and that's what I'm really curious about. Because when we're looking at this, when Esports U's been running these Valorant programs every Sunday, we've been seeing Viper every single time we have seen Split. But from what I caught there at the very end, I don't really think there was a lock-in on that Viper. Going for Astra instead with those smokes, it's not the worst idea, but it's certainly a different one.
It's a different one. It's probably one that they feel more comfortable with rather than playing Viper. Viper is one of those agents that if you don't really have the lineups for her on this on Split, it's kind of difficult to use, right? The big thing is her poison orb, right? You want to use her poison orb effectively because you can just go ahead and set up the wall to block off sight on heaven and then be able to eventually move your way forward. But being able to use the poison orb effectively and efficiently is something that we need to see. And honestly, I'm not too chuffed over seeing an Astra, and I'm also not too mad about seeing Omen. I think those are EMG Reyna.
Yeah, the Reyna locking in here, so it is a double duelist coming from both sides, but with the Jet versus Reyna, it's going to come down to AMG simply hitting their shots. Yes, it sounds silly, but Jet's utility kind of makes it a lot easier for her to be that entry duelist. Reyna doesn't have anything to increase mobility or the taking of space. She's got the Leer, but it's one of the easiest utilities to get out of the way Max has been taken down by Lonnie. Karma gets the wide swing trade, TN6 onto AMG, and this is already going to be a 4-3 in favor of Molloy.
Yeah, College Staten Island feeling the pressure. The rest of them trying to decide what they want to do to try and survive. And it's already going to be numbers evened out already. College of Staten Island not going to give up this first round very easily. Spike being planted, but now Shattered playing their hand maybe a little bit too early before going in for the attack. On the other side of this, going for the reload though. That's always crazy to do that. Tazikin showing up in a... What in the world? What a way to be able to make a statement here on round 1. Except we don't typically get these exciting round 1s. Yeah. Tazikin. Wow. 4 kills.
I mean, Tazzy's feeling good. I think the raise really is going to be beneficial today in particular. Works great on Split, works even better on Bind. So Tazzykin, I assume, is a player we're going to be seeing a lot of. Getting almost a flawless opening there. 4 of the 5 elims available and already halfway to that showstopper, which in itself isn't nearly the ultimate it used to be, but can still pack a punch if the aim is necessary. Going into this, College of Staten Island, the statistical advantage on their side. They've got the weapons as well and the artillery up and running. Let's see if they can flip the script early and drop at least 1 right out the gate.
Script reversal is going to have to be quick. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to be very bloody already. TN6 being that first blood. At the very least, you're going to see Karma with that Sheriff find 1 off the back of that. It's College of Staten Island, however, who's feeling unstoppable, but that's kind of what you're going to be looking for here. Rubentis pressing that W key with the shorty, looking for that 1. He's going to expend their life to make it happen, and now Bliss surrounded on all sides. Shattered to finally put that nail in the coffin, bring College of Staten Island into their second round 1. They did suffer a couple of losses, but nothing I would say that's too awful. Right,
exactly where I was headed. That's exactly where I was headed, Sam. They lose 2 players there. They keep 3 of their weapons bonused up. And reminder, this is a round they are statistically expected to lose anyway. But bonusing those weapons isn't about winning round 3. It's about trying to prevent a loss in round 4. CSI, the winning team, will inevitably go in with a disadvantage of this 3rd round, assuming they've won the first 2. But it's going to be that 4th round. If they can make this one expensive for Molloy, that's where round 4 can be theirs once again. Because if Molloy walks out and they drop a flawless 5K, it's going to be really easy to dominate that 4th round. CSI, they want to make this one bloody. They want to make this aggressive. And Rubent on trying to get an elimination up there, but not able to find that value yet. CSI, they've got to play it slowly because 1 overextension can cost them the momentum they need.
And you don't want to lose that momentum. Not when you have it so firmly in your grasp. Molloy University with all of these guns. Wait a minute. Lonnie, seeing them right there. How did you do it, Max? Just flicked up right where they needed to on the head. Lonnie is now gone, but TN6 is going to be joining them in that spawn room too. It's a back and forth effort between these 2 teams right now. And again, it's still lighting up all over the place. And this is actually going in the way of College of Staten Island. Though with Max in that heaven position, knows where that boom pod is and through the smoke. That paint shell, all of the information that they need to be able
They
to
don't
fire
know.
through it. And now setting
don't
themselves up potentially for even more. It's really Max ripping the head, ripping the band-aid off. And now Shattered alone. Their team shattered. Maybe even the morale picks up the Vandal, but still, it's went out in this 2v1.
Shattered has this Vandal, and there's about two things you can do with it here. You can go for the bonus, or you can go for the hero play. Bonusing up this rifle increases your chances in round 4, but you've gotten the 3. You've made it expensive. You've turned 3 to 4. You've turned 4 to 5, and you've put a round victory down on the side of CSI. That's going to be going up 3-0 on the board off of a beautiful play from a very sneaky Shattered.
Oh, wait a minute, though. It looks like Shattered here didn't want to go for the defuse. Rather,
You couldn't.
Yeah, they ran out of time. So Molloy still wins that round.
Crazy.
Septilence, but
It hurts.
everyone falls. And with that happening, look at that economy.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about, right? CSI, their goal wasn't to win round number 3, it was to try and win round 4, and they are going to have a guaranteed weapons advantage here due to the beautiful performance from Shattered. I got a bit caught up in the moment. I thought it was a round win, and in a way, it almost is, because it makes this round so much easier. 2 players from MU can't buy up.
No, they can't.
It's like a delayed round win.
It's a Pyrrhic victory, is what it is.
Yeah.
For Molloy. You got to give it to Shattered, right?
No doubt.
What a player. What a way to even things back out and really send Molloy reeling. We're going to see this A-site push happening once more. Both of the duelists now onto the site. Pretty much cleared. College of Staten Island reading that they probably were going to go B, but a misread is going to happen on that for sure. So looking towards spreading out on site, but mainly playing the numbers game. You can always count on it's really Max. Really is Max. Be able to find those kills. Rubens is going to be joining it, but the Dazzlekin showstopper in combination with just pure raw skill.
Come on now.
Septilence, how did they do it? College of Staten Island, that's how. That's who they are.
Sam, and the coolest thing about that is when I play Raze, it looks just like that. It is just as impactful as Taziken. Definitely, absolutely, for sure. I'm not lying. I totally swear. But the point stands that, I mean, it is just the duel of the Razes right now, the duel of the fates on the side of these Raze players. I talked about the importance of that entry duelist, of them utilizing that utility, of them hitting their shots. And honestly, at this point, I'd probably be really harsh on AMG if Taziken wasn't 9-2 on the board. It's like that duelist of Reyna hasn't been finding the space, but they've got just as many elims as MU's secondary duelists. So these Razes, both in respectives, carrying their team's momentum.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of hard as a Reyna to get the kills when your other duelist is getting all of the kills. But you're also not going to be complaining about that, right, Septilence? The more that they're doing, the more that they're finding impact, the more that you get to breathe easier and easier. And it's not like it's a horrendous scoreline either.
Exactly.
2-3.
Exactly.
And we're technically really only on round 5. And with Max being inside of the smoke, they're looking for maybe that aggression from College of Staten Island to walk through it, and they might find it here on Brain. Oh no, they were the one who got a little bloodthirsty, walking right out of it, seeing if maybe again they can catch someone off guard, rather. And then now it's just easy pick'ems, one after another, throwing out the bullets, Lottie peeking through, and TN6 doesn't have a head anymore. And this is just a College of Staten Island flawless round, and it feels like so far, Septilence, other than that one round, it actually kind of is a flawless map so far.
Yeah, I have to agree. College of Staten Island really finding a dominating performance, and Taziken, the player I complimented carrying the team, actually didn't get an elimination last round. So the rest of Staten Island really stepping up where they need to, and Molloy, unfortunately, not finding the footing they'd expect. And when we look at the placement of these teams right now, Molloy is the expected winner in a lot of ways, I believe. I believe it's Staten Island that's sitting at the 6th seed, but they're coming out very strong with this performance right now, trying to take Molloy down early.
Slow pace being set up again here. Molloy University, we've seen that speed, but now being tempered by loss. So slow in how they're wanting to find picks, maybe. TN6, I don't think they saw that, but I don't think Shatter did on the other hand. So neither of these players really know where each other are. And TN6 being patient, waiting for the smoke to go away. Up in the rafters, though, they're going to have to be so careful. No, that has to be the realization. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And it's like you said, Septilence, it's just a straight timing diff. Wait, maybe another one for Shattered. That's going to be Karma pushing themselves up even further. But they have to know that Shattered's there.
They have
The
to,
loss
yeah,
of the teammate.
They haven't heard the steps run. Shattered goes for the back foot, but I'd be shocked to see them fully ditch the high ground. I don't think they're ready yet.
All right, now this is the signal. Information has been gathered, but look at this. All of College Staten Island are here.
Oh?
And they are not missing Braintham. Again, putting another one on the board for College of Staten Island. Molloy University just cannot even begin to see the site. How can you, with the way the College of Staten Island is playing right now, Septilins?
Yeah, I feel like you can't do much other than hope a bullet takes you down quickly. Staten Island seemingly having the read on Molloy time and time again. As we hit somebody getting that fifth round, I'm not surprised to see this timeout come out. This is around the time we would see a team call for a TO, and ideally, Molloy is going to use this minute to discuss what maybe their plan is going to be moving toward the second half of this matchup, because right now, CSI, they're one round away from worst case 6-6 on the half, and with the dominance we're seeing on the defense from them, I assume we're going a lot higher than that 6th round for CSI.
And speaking of the number 6, right? This is number 6 team.
Yeah.
Taking on Molloy. Not easy. This is Molloy, the favorite team coming into this matchup. But College of Staten Island is putting themselves out there, improving themselves. Maybe reformulating something, working together better as a team this go around, or even just realizing that, hey, all right, quarterfinals. We really got to show up in force, and we really got to show out.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of the ways to go about doing it. And Tazikin at a 10-2. It's insane, some of the things that are happening here right now. But maybe with this timeout, Molloy University can use this opportunity. They really need to, right? Talk about the economy, figure out ways to get themselves back into fighting form. Because at this stage of the game, College of Staten Island, honestly, could probably lose another 4 or 5 good round, like 4 or 5 rounds completely and totally, still have enough money in the bank to be able to fight against Molloy.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a great point here, Sam. Is just the discussion of the fact that CSI could lose X however many rounds they choose to and still find themselves in a positive spot. AMG, the wide swing spray and pray on the corner. 3 players going to say goodbye to this round 7 matchup. And College of Staten Island, they pop an Empress, almost insult to injury here. This is near impossible for Molloy to claw back.
Near impossible. Garage is a graveyard now, turned into a completely different, and now AMG, thirsty for even more kills, is just gonna keep going for it.
Now.
Grabbing the
ace.
4th.
Run it down.
Might be able to pick up the ace, and they do. The College of Staten Island ace coming out of the timeout, proving that, hey, we're gonna take that time, and we're gonna show that AMG can do just as good as Tazzy can. College of Staten Island, wow, what a round.
And you know what, AMG, I'll say it. Not bad. You know, the Reyna's clearly working. I was a little critical, but they pop off in a beautiful way. They keep the energy out the gate for CSI. And Sam, you raise a super interesting point. The timeout is technically one for both teams. College of Staten Island, they use that to discuss what they wanted to do in round 7. It is an ace out the gates from AMG. And here comes the beginning of round 8. Can anything change for Molloy?
It's gonna have to, right? But the biggest thing that's gonna be changing, rifles, right? Guns. Yep. A good way to take out the tripwire. That's gonna continue allowing their approach through this. But Tazikin, on the flip side, inside of that mid, Shattered is just all spray and pray!
You gotta be
It's unstoppable from these teams! Tazikin, a couple of bullets missed there, but then Shattered. Oh, Shattered. There's no words that can describe what College of Staten Island is doing right now. This is just brutal.
Yeah, and you know, I'll be honest, when we looked at 2v6, in my mind, I was kind of thinking, okay, the 2 should dominate pretty aggressively, right? But we are getting quite the change of pace here from the side of the College of Staten Island. I don't know if they just kind of got a little bit more time to discuss and they had a better VOD review than they were able to find recently or what, but this team, they're not just showing up, they are absolutely showing off right now, Sam. This is a very notable performance from the College of Staten Island. They're at this moment looking at a possible 11-1 on the half, unless we get an insane shakeup from Molloy.
Insane shakeup is exactly right. Brain thrum, couple of shots, a little bit of hits, but nothing really that they need to worry about. Also a fantastic read to try and pull in Max. You're not taking these fights, though, if you're College of Staten Island. You're going to make Molloy have to come to you, especially with the weapons that they have. The biggest thing, Septilins, that could happen here is over-aggressiveness, and that's what Braitham is going to feel. AMG on this flip side, though, they're Reyna. This is the kind of thing that they thrive off on. And if you're just going to give them kills like that, Molloy University, it's just, you're feeding the beast. You're feeding Reyna.
Yeah, Molloy just, they've got to stop wide swinging these corners like this. I mean, it is just such an aggressive extension out through the corner, and Max going to try to tuck in, avoiding the nade, will be able to do so. Knows Tazikin is just around that corner. I think they didn't see them, actually. But they've got the read. Somebody's on the left, especially as that primary fire will spam its way through. Beautiful shot. Tazikin goes down. Shattered gets the trade on to Bliss, and Max trying to be the hero once more, but we've seen what Shattered can do in high-intensity scenarios like this.
The thing that Shatter can play with right now is time.
Yep,
this is
very
force
true.
Max only has one option. They need to go back and fight it out on A. But I don't, maybe Shattered realizes that just yet. They're gonna hang out here and Vince. Okay, that's the go noise. The pain shells hit here. The spike is being planted. 12 seconds to go. You know that they're gonna be stuck down there. This is everything. This is all on Max. They have to close it out, and they do. Clutching it here from Molloy University and giving them a much needed win where things were really starting to spiral out of control. This might be the opportunity right now for Molloy to, at the very least, find some grip to bring them back into it.
It's the beginning of what could be a very long road to success, but I'm a very firm believer in the phrase, better late than never after all. And Molloy, they put that second round down. If they can win the next 3, I mean, realistically, 7-5, that's pretty darn good. You know, that's nothing to shy up about at all. Much better than the hypothetical 11-1 we were staring down the barrel of earlier. But Max has begun to swing the door open to double the amount of elims of anybody else on Molloy. The rest of this team's got to come in clutch, especially now that Max has been put 6 feet under.
Got to keep it going. If you're Molloy University, though, exactly, you can't let this round slip through your fingers. You need to get as many of them consecutively as you can. It's not the best start, but you got to try and take some of these fights to equalize it out here, and even more so as the bullets are flying in mid. You're really wondering what more can be done. There you have it, Rubenis. 2 kills. Not only have you equalized it, you brought it in your favor, and now maybe we're starting to see Molloy University getting that warm up. Maybe those first few rounds here for College Staten Island was just giving that warm up for Molloy University. They just needed to get the mechanics going here. Septimus, maybe they just need to get some breath work in.
Yeah, Molloy for real, really starting to open up. We see the shells go out. I don't think they're gonna hit Karma, or at least not nearly enough to delay that spike plant. 4v2, CSI, they've been performing pretty darn well under pressure, all things considered, but that doesn't always find you the victory you're looking for. Tazikin from the heavens finds a 3k, 2 to go, 30 HP in a dream. Showstopper available, but I love they actually did not use it. A lot of people like to get frisky like that, but I don't think that's the time to really bop that out. Molloy, 3rd round on the board, 2 away from a 7-5 half.
There you have it, Molloy. Like I said, you want to win as many of these rounds consecutively as possible, and this is definitely the way to go about doing it. Rubentis being the one to start the ball rolling, even with Max gone so early, and that's kind of the power of this double duelist setup here on, especially on attack. You're able to still have someone to push in and to guide the way for the rest of the team to go through. Good job to Rubentis, but still Molloy has a very long road ahead of them.
Very long road ahead indeed. And Sam, the 2 round wins we've seen recently both kind of came off the back of somebody from Molloy really popping off as an individual. That's not something we can anticipate every round. I cannot believe Rubentis misses those shots, but Shattered will get theirs on the way out. The lockdown from Molloy, a showstopper to boot. It's a spray into the back, and it does not find the elimination. Tazikin and Max take down an opponent on both sides. Max turning it into a double and giving Molloy those numbers once more.
Lonnie without their weapon out, walking up. Always the bane of minion existence. Still, though, Molloy University hasn't set the spike down. They're playing this very carefully. They're trying to flush out all angles. They know that Max is still alive, and of course, they also know that there is a showstopper that can be used. 2 ultimates as well. There is that wall. Many different options, many different varieties of ways to take on this site, but it's still so much slow going. The pain shell is even more so as it stalls things out again. College Staten Island, so much time being expended here. TN6 just on the other end. Funneling right into the bullets. A double kill to close out this round. Molloy now just needs to get this one, Sep.
I mean, TN6 miss a shot challenge. Like, seriously, we are just seeing such a notable performance time and time again. Bullet after bullet, shot after shot. TN6 is not missing a single opportunity to strike if given the chance to do so. So I've got to say, that player, you know, you talked about the ability to play that chamber, to be very powerful. And right now, even on the Sky, second frag on the team, keeping Molloy locked into this matchup. 7-5, just one round away, and then they win the pistol round from there. Things can really start tipping back in their favor. Uh-oh, speaking of showstopper.
Okay. Showstopper. A little messy. Kind of all over the place, but still, at the end of the day, did its job.
A win is a
and
win.
Max is gone. A win is a win, right, Septilence? That's what Max is going to take away from that. And of course, you got your Sky, bring you back up to full, get that regrowth going. Molloy University, still some opportunities. Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Can you do it one more time, though, Rubentus? It's still sloppy, still all over the place. No help for Tazikin. And that's where TN6 can capitalize on that. And again, you know, sloppy, messy. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day, Sentinels, as long as you get those kills.
I'm learning Rubentus either doesn't miss or can't hit, and never anywhere in between. Those are the two versions of Rubentus we've seen so far. AMG wide swings the first corner as 2 will peek out from backside there. TN6 has the opportunity to strike and makes it a 4v2 in favor of Molloy. Oh, great divide.
Yeah, that divide going up.
Shotgun.
Making them a little bit more. All right, even through the bullets, doesn't matter. You gotta be careful on the other side of that wall.
Neural theft!
Neural theft! Braintham needs to do this. The neural theft is still gonna give them all of the information, but that swarm grenade
Sticking.
is gonna start
Nice.
picking them apart piece by piece. Bliss read it so perfectly. Braintham thought they had enough time. It just wasn't meant to be, though. There you have it.
And I mean,
Wait, no, it was meant to be.
no, it was.
Wow.
It was, Sim. It was meant to be. It was Bliss 6 HP by the time the spike got diffused. They realized it's the last round. Who cares if I die? So they go through, they stick it, they pray that it works, and by golly, it sure did. They're able to find that opening, make it 8-4 on the half. Now 5 rounds shy of a victory here on Split.
It's always those moments, right, that you can just slip by your eyes if you're not really
Yep.
paying attention.
Yep.
And for Braintham to have that judgment call in their heart, to know that they would survive even though the swarm grenade is eating them alive.
Seriously.
Unreal. That kind of decision making, especially on the fly, you cannot replicate that.
I mean, they were less than a second from losing that. They really were. Like, that was a very difficult circumstance to be in. They found themselves staring down the barrel of a loss. Like I said, I think they had 6 HP when they ended up diffusing the spike. So it was a risk they were willing to take. By golly, does it pay off in their favor there? And I've got to say, things looking mighty darn good for the side of CSI right now. Let's see if this pistol round can continue that energy.
Slow, though. That's all it is. CSI's playing the gathering game. Gathering up kills. Information doesn't really matter at this point. Those paint shells still gonna be really good. The max utility has been either denying space or taking names. One of the two. And we're seeing the names being taken right now. a little bit of trouble's going up those rafters, but now Molloy University, it's all full speed ahead to try and get back over. And Max is popping off. It is non-stop for this player until Tazikin enters the equation. It's still back and forth, though. The numbers advantage going into Molloy. Karma with 15 HP. All it takes is one more shot.
Ooh.
It's back and forth, though, and Molloy University making up for what just happened in that last round in spectacular fashion.
Now we've got a 50% win rate on both teams for these pistol rounds, and if Molloy can kind of mimic what CSI brought to the table, 3 more rounds on the board, then we should be able to see an 8-8 series at least here going into the latter half of Split. But that pistol round isn't always all it's chalked up to be. This second round, as I mentioned earlier, is a statistical expectation for the pistol round winning team to find. And Molloy, with this incredible weapons advantage, are going to try very hard to get these eliminations quickly. Because if you slip up, Sam, that's where things start to fall. If you buy a rifle and you lose the firefight, you've handed your enemy a rifle, and this round becomes a heck of a lot harder to come out on top of.
It really does. But Molloy University, rather than looking for hard mode, is trying to continue the easy mode with some of these weapons. And as long as Max has that rifle, and as long as Max is able to use them, well, College Staten Island, you better be watching out. That's all we can really say here at this point.
Real.
Rubentis a continued menace inside of mid, though, with that Sheriff and a Bucky. And you've kind of sent College of Staten Island in this sort of reeling default position where they're looking all over the place. They're trying to gather information before they start their push, but it's not throwing Molloy off. It really isn't. And in fact, Max is still going to try and take these fights. Couple of bullets flying out. Not gonna give it up, though.
The amount of jiggle peaks that have happened in mid in the last, like, I don't know, 30 seconds, give or take. These teams really trying to bait one another out, but nobody really gonna fall for it. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. And Rubentis, with the Gaia Bucky, wonderful skin, is gonna be holding Catwalk here. Not sure if anybody's gonna take the push, at least until that smoke goes down.
Here. If I were College of Staten Island, that would be an insane maneuver to do. AMG might be the one to cause the insanity. Bucky picking up the first one, but that's all it's going to be able to get with that one. The range a little too far. But you know what, Septulins, that's what you have teammates for. Those ramps littered with the bodies of College of Staten Island, Molloy University, ever so close to being able to close that scoreline. And actually, I like this timeout from Molloy.
Definitely.
You would think why? Why, right? Because they just won these 2 rounds in a row. Is because if they can win this here, if they can win their bonus, Septulins, sky's the limit. It really is.
Yeah, I do not disagree at all. If they can win this bonus, they can keep things locked in pretty aggressively. And I think this is now an important discussion of, you know, we haven't really gotten the chance to see their offense yet. These have been very dominant showings on both these opening rounds. And ideally, Molloy is going to walk out this with a bit more under their belt. But this is the round. If CSI is going to turn things around, this is that opening to try and make that happen.
It might be possible for Molloy, though. Especially, I could also imagine, too, that they're talking about this, right? Rubentis, get a rifle. Karma, get a rifle. It's a gamble if Molloy decides to go for that, but also one that I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to, but also at the same time, you could also formulate in your head, maybe just save for the next one. It's okay. It's all right. We'll go in for the next and maybe just give College of Staten Island this round. It would make them 9-6, and so they wouldn't have a monumental lead, and then you're going to have something a little bit better for yourself going into the next. And even so, look at this for College of Staten Island. Septulin Shatter's not even able to full buy all of their trips, so things are still shaky for CSI.
This mid fight has been so consistent. We saw it on both attacks, and it's funny that nobody would kind of lock in a Sage here due to her natural inkling of being pretty powerful.
The dog didn't catch that?
The dog didn't peek the corner, just ran it straight down. AMG took the advantage, sends the Leer, catches the Hawk, and gives CSI a pretty loud advantage out the gate.
I couldn't believe that. AMG was camping. That should have been an easy pickup. And flush it through. Karma. Do you believe in karma? Well, I do. And so does Braitham, I'm sure,
Karma
at this
is
point.
the guy on the other side of that smoke.
They are. And not only that, but there was also range that they had to contend with as well. It's just easy pick'ems, especially if you're Max, however. Still has that rifle in hand. They could be the difference maker. And again, oh my god, again they
awkward.
are. And even though Max has fallen, TN6 is still there to be able to pick up the Vandal and fall back towards the site. And so you've kind of already done your job. If you're Max, you're still going to need to go more so even throughout the rest of this. TN6 is all on you, my friend. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. Wow. TN6, the defender of B, the equalizer of scores. Now 8-7 for Molloy. Ever so close.
Yes, apparently Molloy just needed to get warmed up. Don't know what took him so long, but hey, better late than never. They're able to tie things up here, or rather just one round shy of that, my goodness. And they are going to be looking for that opportunity as early as they can find it. Certainly no promises in a scenario like this one, Sam, but as you've gotten this close already, you've got the weapons advantage, you've won 3 in a row. The statistical disexpectation is going to work very well for Molloy. 1 round to go, and they've tied us up 8-8.
We always love statistics. It should be possible here. Wait a minute. Braitham. Kiss that bullet. That was a shot that needed to have happened. Braitham, you got to give this one a medal right now. 2 kills already to be able to open things wide open for College of Staten Island. Again, though, through the smokes, through cages. Somehow Molloy University just picks them up one after another. Where Braitham had so much... Braitham... I can't believe it. Really, off the shoulders of one player, finally they're going to be put to pasture, but Lonnie is going to trade it out immediately. A thrifty round for College of Staten Island. It's Braitham, though. That was all Braitham. It was all Braitham, Septilins.
Braitham has been nothing short of a beast in quite a few ways here. We saw that beautiful defuse earlier. We saw a spectacular shot with that Sheriff right out the gate onto Max, just stalling out the hyper-aggression of Molloy. And just when CSI lets them get close, they're going to make it right back on their side. They've gotten the weapons. This is the first round of the second half we've been able to see where a team is actually going to have a full advantage on the board. Everybody is bringing out their best.
Now we're going to see what College of Staten Island, with them at their best, Septilins, is going to be able to do here, right? We've seen just these super slow approaches, and that's going to cost AMG their life once more. Still, the Heaven Defender from above. Max finally pushed away. Some damage given, but going to be kind of equalized back out. Full HP given to them. It's still so much damage that this team is able to output. And especially when you look at Max and what they've been able to do. College of Staten Island, when they suffer these losses, though, it's kind of like molasses.
Yes.
The way that they scale up these sites.
Tasmanian Tiger goes out, but Max takes it down earlier. Showstopper in hand. They know there's at least 2 people on the side. If they go for patience to jump the corner, Brantham can't find the shot. Molloy don't want to give up this player advantage because every time they have so far, it has not worked well. They want to keep this 5 in their favor, and Brantham just not going to let that happen. Brantham barely taking damage, dismisses Max from the fight, and gives us 4-4 on the board. But Sam, only 30 seconds left to act here.
Only 30 seconds left to act, and look where the spike is. They need to go and pick it up. A is going to have to be where they put the flag up. There's no other choice.
Yeah.
And they still even need to go and get it back in the first place. They're running out of time, Septilins. There's no time
It's a rundown.
left. It's now or never. It is put the pedal to the metal and hope for the best. Karma, you gotta be on the other side of it, but they looked in the wrong direction. TN6, however, alive, well, hungry for kills, hungry for blood. The numbers advantage for Molloy University's TN6 pulling out the knife in the nick of time. Gun comes right back out, and a kill to go along with it. Shattered. The expectations on them are monumental. But they're not even going to try and meet them. They're not going to try and stand up to the unrealistic expectations set in front of them, saving the gun.
Going for the gun save, never a bad idea. Guarantees a bit of an advantage going into this next round where they don't have those weapons online. Shattered has been a pretty loud player, a pretty impactful one, but I think the proper call here, Sam, would be to just throw it up to Tazzy, put that rifle in hand, give them the opportunity to keep doing Tazzy-kin things, and try to give CSI those double digits because Molloy is on their toes and refuses to step away.
And also, I think what College Staten Island is suffering from here, Septilins, is just they're not using util, right? They're dry peeking these angles, like AMG just going out in the open like that. It's insanity.
Insanity is something that works pretty darn well if executed correctly, but I don't think we're seeing that proper execution from anybody quite yet. Seekers out from CSI. We're seeing a Cosmic Divide as well. They've won the route pretty dominantly last time the Divide came out, and Bliss is going to be able to throw things out. Hawk is into a blind, Bliss into a corner, TN6 into a double kill, widespread. Tazzy-kin able to answer it out with 2 of their own. Double showstopper, and it looks like they're both going to find an elimination. Molloy in a 2v1 opportunity. Tazzy-kin, the power player, up to them to try and save the day.
And that wall is going to make things so difficult. The second it collapses, 2 on the other side of it.
Wow.
Tazzy-kin denied the ace, but more importantly, denied the round that would have saved them from causing the tie. No, Molloy University now 9-9, Rubentis bringing us through into this territory.
9-9 on the board. Molloy has been fighting up from a disadvantage since the very first round of the game, and they have finally found themselves at this tie. We're gonna have a near mirrored economy, quite the phrase, and Molloy is gonna have a slight advantage. They go Bucky over Spectre. If they can play close quarters, they might be able to make it work well, but it's all about those if, ands, and buts, and with a quadruple, near quintuple commit down this A site, we see Decipher off on his lonesome. They're gonna try to rush it quick down into this A. They know Karma holds it alone.
They know Karma holds it alone, but do they know what's hiding out for them in heaven? Tazzy-kin again. These smokes, it does not matter. It's like they have infrared heat-seeking vision that we just don't know about, Septilins. This is what we needed to see from College of Staten Island, though. Good util usage, letting the dog clear the pathways forward.
Ooh!
But it's just AMG not ready for the Max show spectacular. The bullets fly, and if you're Max throwing them, they do not miss.
Oh no, the lurk
And now
is
Shattered.
caught.
It's all being broken here for College of Staten Island. All alone now is Loney. All gone is College of Staten Island. Molloy University. Not just tying, not just meeting, but now surpassing.
Molloy,
bringing this 10-9.
The expected team to win this here, Sam. This is the team we were looking forward to seeing bring an opportunity like this to the table, to not just perform, but to overperform, to be that second place kind of team coming out of this. And it took them a little while, but better late than never. I've said that 1,000 times. They're showing up. They're starting to show off a little bit. And with 3 ultimates and 3 rounds left on the board, Molloy got to be feeling likely to walk away with a victory here. Especially economy shattered again for CSI.
It just goes to proof, right? When you're especially a team as strong as Molloy,
yep,
your mentals also have to be strong. It's proof right here. You're getting hammered so hard in the first half, but then to come back and show us why you are number 2, it's the best way to go about doing it. And Molloy University, yeah, maybe those rocky starts shouldn't have happened in the first place, but regardless, first match of the evening, quarterfinals, maybe breathing down their necks. Max ready to fire a couple of bullets just off the information from the Tasmanian Tiger, the Tasmanian Devil. Maybe even more so with these cabbages. Oh, stuck right there. Tazikin has to crouch down on the ground, maybe to be able to survive, but it's just literal pixels that Max has to work with. Rubentis, however, a bigger window, and the window that they would just keep shoving more and more open with more and more kills. Stuck in the corner, AMG nowhere to go, and now Molloy University flawlessly going into the next round.
Molloy walking near perfect into that next round, Sam, bringing out those rifles. 11-9 now on the board. This is that team that just could not get away in the first half, and it seems like the defense is where they are really starting to shine. The KJ, I'm sure, gets notably more utility success on the defense, and poor CSI have not been able to break through. I've got to say, though, continuing to strike this A site is surprising, as it has worked 1 time in 7 rounds. 8 rounds.
Well, you know what, Septilence? One is more than the none that's happened to be, I guess. But we wouldn't really
technically.
Know. But we wouldn't really know that, right? Because they don't go for B, if at all. They lean towards this comfort pick of A. And the second anything happens here, it's kind of like Molloy knows they're not going to rotate off of this. They don't work into the mid round. They gather that information and they just either go for the retake and do phenomenally at it, because here's the real crux of the situation that College of Staten Island is working with. They don't go for heaven, and the second they do, well, guess what? Karma's gonna eat you alive. Yeah. And then Rubentis is gonna do the same thing to AMG. Now only 3 players for College of Staten Island has anything. Tazikin, it's on their shoulders to bring the numbers back around for them. They only get the 1 before Max trades it out here. Up into the air, the paint shells go down. It's a 2v4, still shattered. Expectations on Braithen. Maybe, wait a minute. It's not done till it's over. And TN6 is gonna make it done and over. Molloy University now, match point.
Molloy University match point on the board. A team that was staring what I believe to be a 7-1 disadvantage in the face in the first half have clawed back from the jaws of defeat, and now they are staring at a map that is simply theirs to lose. 3-round advantage. They've got the weapons to boot, and CSI, they're going to be able to buy rifles, but they're not going for a full buy here.
That's a scary thing to want to do, right? These decisions that you have to make on a match point. And especially with how dominant they were in that first half.
Yeah.
Massive blow, Septilence. It has to be. There's no other choice. And like you said, Lonnie's not able to full buy. And they're looking at that Sheriff, but I would say, yeah, go for something like the Spectre Full Shields. Just use all the cash you have. Oh, no, Max. Oh, no. What are you doing here, buddy? You just... They want to end this right now, but they may suffer from it. What a paint shell. Utility is unreal from this player. Still in that corner too, Septilence, by the way. They're going to be drawn out and another one before being brought to their knees. Molloy University still has the numbers advantage, however.
Neural Theft out from Bliss late in the game here. We're looking at this maybe Cosmic Divide to come out if CSI really wants to slow things, but you've got the spike. You don't need to be hitting the B site. A rotation is not a bad idea in a scenario like this. But instead, they're almost going for the fake out of the lockdown, trying to bait a rotation. And it looks like the Jet, at least, has fallen for it. She's holding up mid, trying to get a read if they're going through. But a Cosmic Divide is out. That gives the go-ahead that this should be a B site hit. I just think this is going to be a tough one, Sam. I'm not going to say impossible, but All the utility in the world from Molloy. And this Cosmic Divide goes down in about 9 seconds.
Yeah, and that information's been given away. They don't really have that anymore. Thankfully, the spike being planted, you see Rubentis back and forth. Do I go through this? Do I not? Or do I wait for the wall to go away? It's those little moments that you get so scared and trying to make this happen, but you're waiting for the lurk on the other side.
Ooh.
All right, Shattered. It's all on you, my friend. All alone.
Executed.
All dead. Molloy saw the pathway. The grip that they needed to have. Nothing less than iron steel. Even Septilins have brought themselves into a 13-9 victory for College of Staten Island.
It was a steal, like the way they stole that map away from the College of Staten Island. Molloy really, I mean, I really think it was, what, 7-1, 6-1, and they're able to find a 13-9 victory. So we've learned one thing about Molloy. Maybe the offense on Split simply wasn't their bread and butter, but they got the victory. They're able to find, and now they're one map away from a best-of-3 win, and I believe our second map bind will be happening after a super short break. We're going to give these players some time to get ready, use the restroom, get some snacks, whatever they want to do, discuss team compositions, but either way, this break is happening. We'll see you right on the other side in just a few.
I've got the biggest tip for you in the world. If Molloy University is ever down and out and you think they're going to be losing a map without a fight, well, guess what? You would be wrong, because Molloy University is now sitting 1-0 after a first map that saw them, well, at the first half, kind of like 7-1 here, Septal. And so we go into the second map, Molloy University up in the series, and now we also get to go onto their map choice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about as well. Not only going into the next map, but Molloy's map choice, albeit is going to be Bind, my personal favorite map in the game as a Raze player. Of course, I'm going to love it. So I think this is going to be a fascinating map to be watching, to look at the Razes in particular, who we consistently complimented on being the players to carry that team, to find those advantages, and to kind of create those openings. This is a map where that should even work. That should work even better. So we see a chamber locked in, but it's not TN6. That's surprising as well.
It's Max. Okay, all right, Max. Listen, we got the lowdown scoop about Max here, Septal. And so the reason why things were sketchy in that first half, needed some time to warm up because they'd been playing Fortnite all week. And well, one of our casters just opened up Fortnite in the office.
One of them did for sure. And maybe it was an accident. Maybe he didn't mean to launch Fortnite, and then his computer started lagging, and then maybe it was just a silly little accident. And it's not copium. I didn't mean to launch Fortnite. I swear.
All right. Okay. All right. I believe you, Septilance. I believe you. Just like I am having a little bit of a hard time believing this Molloy University lineup, mostly because it's missing a key element. It's missing a second controller, going for the second initiator. I guess really who needs that? On the flip side, though, Staten Island, College Staten Island, they're kind of going with something similar that we saw from the last map.
Yeah.
Role speaking, right? They're still the double duelist and then one of everything else.
Yeah, it's interesting just due to the fact that like the Fade is on both sides. Fade Raze, phenomenal combo. Fade anyone else from Staten Island? Oh, there we go. Okay, Staten will swap to the Raze, so I do like it a lot more.
Okay, that's better. That definitely is better. It still is I think a little bit scary for me though, with having a Fade over a Sky.
Okay, sure. Sky's
the
very
big
strong.
thing. Well, the big thing that I'm thinking here, Septilance, is this team currently big time lacking in flashes.
Yes. Yeah, and this map in particular, I think if you're not going to be utilizing flashes, you need to be utilizing smokes. We saw just a Brimstone, I believe, in the smokes department. And that is not going to be working super duper well across the board. I want to keep an opportunity out for these flashes to see if TN6 can really be the opening that this team needs. And maybe they're trying to open up those things on purpose and not accidentally opening Fortnite.
Hopefully we'll figure that out here, Septilance. It's still back against the walls for College of Staten Island. Oh. It's not easy. They're not going to have an easy time.
It ain't easy being cheesy, Sam. It's really not. Those are the rules. That's just life, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You're making me want some cheese right now, though. maybe a little bit of I don't know, but we're gonna see if Lonnie knows how to land some of these shots. What they do know now, though, is at the very least a flashbang hit them, and they're being flushed out just like this. It is whatever they can throw right back at them, but it seems like it really is Max, and it really is them landing crazy headshots just like this on a chamber.
Yeah, we've got a 5v4 now here on this A side of Bind. Max trying to get a bit of coverage, doesn't know where to look. Also doesn't know where to plant. Karma and Shattered both going to follow the smokes offline all the way. That's all the smokes out of here. Paint shells come in late against Molloy, but I think the damage has been done. The spike is down. Max bodying out through mid, finding that headshot onto not one or two, but now three players. AMG, last person standing, seen up mid here, and Max just looking to pad that KD. Luminous steals it from them. That's going to be a 4-player victory here for Molloy in that opening round.
It's the call right there, right? You get the first pick from Max.
Yep.
And that kind of, with the domino effect, go through the TP, walk in through showers, and then just start doing your job from that point on. Maybe leaving someone behind to lurk and try to pick up some extra kills. But yeah, Molloy University played that really well. And Max on top of that with Rubentis in hand. These two, kind of a duo fear that was just sent through College of Staten Island. Guns in hand, Molloy University theoretically should be looking good here.
The approach goes up, down B long once again. Now this didn't work super awesome across the board for CSI last time, but it was an approach from Molloy. Going for the same tradition. Bliss finds one. That Raze is going to be taken down with that shorty. Another one. Oh, gonna whiff both shots, and TN6 will get that trade out. B site been ripped wide open by Molloy. With only 2 players left standing. I think this should be an easy one for them to clock out of.
Should be. Should be. We always got to be careful about that word, should. Even, oh, shattered. Again, through the smoke in these classics, they're crazy, but Bliss is also on another level of crazy themselves. Molloy University closing out that second round. Not, also, like, I don't, yeah, only losing 1, so not too bad in the economy department either. Still gets to maintain runs going into the second round. And College of Staten Island gets rifles for themselves, but still has to kind of contend with what Molloy University is working with, which now, by the way, is a Phantom for Rubintis.
Rubintis has had a bit of a slower game and swaps over from the Phantom to what I'll call the better gun. I'll say it, the Judge Online. This is a beautiful map to make that weapon work, and hopefully they're going to be able to get some space with it. They're holding back on the A site, which is an uncomfortable spot to try and toss out something like that. Judge up and over, though. Rubintis is going to try to send it, and Branthium will find them down. Karma will get the trade, however, so will be a 4-4 on the board. Ooh.
Tazikin still chilling out here. The dog sneaking right past them. Didn't catch. Still play the long angles if they want, but you only have 7 HP left to work with. Once that smoke goes away, Max, the patience from them goes somewhere. Max had it in the ideations of grandeur in their head. And now Karma, like you said, is going to run through the TP, find whatever plan they have in their soul, maybe be able to plant the spike, throw out the molly, buy themselves some time, get that extra credits on the board at the very least, and start looking for some exit frags. But a beautiful hunt is going to send them right up there. And a beautiful kill from Tazikin. College of Staten Island denying the bonus, taking their first round.
College of Staten Island taking their first round, about the same spot we saw a first round take back on Split. I think it was 2-1 before the advantage for the side of Molloy really started to double down. Or CSI at the time, sorry. I keep forgetting that CSI was so dominant in the first half of Split, but not meeting that same dominance here in the midst of Bind puts them in quite the namesake. 5 rifles available for Molloy going into the CSI is probably going to go for what we traditionally call the buddy system, where somebody without a rifle follows somebody that does. You pray that person gets the pick, then you pick up the enemy rifle, and you both walk through. You're able to find that advantage, but it's a risk to walk into 5 rifles with only 3 to your name, so ideally, CSI can get some picks right off the gate.
I've got your trail.
Oh, Loney might be the
That'll
one.
help.
Loney could do this. Branthan. Oh, you were so bold. You wanted to go for it so massively, but Max, just a little bit of that quicker draw. Now Loney by themselves, and Garden, they're gone. Karma's gonna send it through to them. And it's an admirable effort from AMG, but admirability can only take you so far in a game like Valorant. B site gone, no one here. Spike planted.
Spike plant down from Molloy now, and they've taken a lot of damage in this mix-up here. Waiting to see if they can kind of stall things out, but one paint shell from Tazikin, even within 5 feet of one of these guys, is going to be a lethal one, to say the very least. So ideally, things can open up a little bit stronger with the smoke out. TN6 has that spray, but I mean, Sam, even with the numbers advantage, it's going to be a tough one to win. They don't even have a full player's HP amongst the 3 of them.
No, they don't. You sneeze in their direction, Septilins, and the little germs are what's going to be enough to kill them. They're going to have to play this so carefully. It's the information game, right? Throw them off the loop. Throw them for anything here. It's already kind of the best way to go about doing this. The toes burned off. TN6. It's always when you need to rely on a player, TN6 is there. He's a reliable guy, that fella.
I mean, that was a really, really clever play from Molloy. Like I said, I'm not even sure they had 50 HP across the 3 of them. They knew one bullet, even with getting within the same area code as us, is going to take us down. So they went 3 different angles. They pulled focus 3 different ways, and the reaction from CSI wasn't available to come out on top of that. It was a risk, but by golly, Sam, does it pay off? And now, Molloy, they have a 2-round advantage going into round 5.
Karma had the lineups, too. Those lineups on a Brimstone, it's always on Bind. It always makes me rue the day I see a Brimstone and think that I'm going to be able to get that. But no, guess what? For some reason, I'm I'm losing all of my HP and I'm on fire. Let's see if Max is gonna be on fire though. No, the showers cooling them down a little bit. Still able to hit the TP to safety. Oh, I couldn't believe you, boy. You're still gonna try and hit the ultimate orb. That was a bold move to do that. But Molloy University rebuked for now. It planted some toes on the side, but not enough really to get them anything more than that. Max has that 18 HP on hand. They take this swing. If they get this kill, could be massive, but no. Max just can't hit any of these bullets right now, Septilins. They're finding so much difficulty in getting this here.
Prowler out. They have the teleportation down. Oh, the spray comes out. The TP has to be panic pushed, and now an orbital strike comes out. Max can't get away. Bliss down as well.
Wow.
2 eliminations there for CSI. Rubidius has been opening the gate once more. Ties us up on the 2-2 check. Karma has the read. The paint shell's out. Shattered will take quite a bit of damage here, down to 74.
On to 74. And a teleporter to be taken. Be psyched. The final battleground of this round, and one that Molloy University might have some difficulties winning out on. We're already seeing the setup here. We're seeing the lineups. Even more so importantly, Karma has the orbital strike. The second that anyone does anything, it's all gonna be immediate answer in kind right away. The Molly first, then to come up next. This is gonna give College of Staten Island the opportunity to push themselves forward. But wrapping around inside of Hookah. Oh no. College of Staten Island, are you ready for Rubentis?
Oh.
Are you ready for what they might do? Playing it ever so patiently. Shatter knew they were there, but it doesn't even matter. Rubentis. Still, maybe? No, Lonnie's just getting out of there. Right call, right choice.
Gotta do what you gotta do in a moment like that, and saving a weapon is gonna be very beneficial going into that 6th round. I expect to see a timeout possibly from CSI if they lose this upcoming round, but we actually haven't seen any timeouts from CSI yet. They've been exclusively from the side of Molloy, and I'm wondering if CSI, knowing this round should be a loss, if they want to hold on to their timeout for later, but all things considered, I think it should be a bit sloppy on both sides. I'm expecting a bit of a Franken buy from Molloy, and it seems that's what we're going to be getting with the tour de force as the icing on top.
I honestly don't know how to feel about these non-timeouts that are happening right now. Like you said,
if you've got them, use them. That's my belief.
Yeah, I 100% agree. College of Staten Island doggedly holding on to it right now, not giving themselves that option. It's always rough when you see that happen, and it might.
Yeah.
And Max could make things even more rough with this tour de force in hand. Up in the air goes the showstopper. I don't find too many targets here. A blind fire through the smoke. There it goes. Out.
Come on now.
Lottie, you didn't even get to see anything before your head gets ripped off by that tour de force.
Karma has the smokes on. Tour de force wide swings the angle.
What?
We'll take AMG down with another one out. Would have hit it, but it is going to be picked up by Rubentis with that bomb buddy onto Shatter as well. Max cleans up Kazikin, and that is Molloy's 5th round on the board. Probably the most dominant round we've seen so far.
I need to get a masterclass lesson from Max on how to use that operator. That was clean every single shot. And you think about it too, Septilins, they weren't just firmly planting their feet down. No, they were swinging
right.
and still landing tour de force shots. They're still landing op shots. We're gonna see if Brantham can use an operator for themselves as effectively as Max does, but that's a lot on any person trying to try and meet.
Yeah, the tour de force, just a better operator in a couple of ways. It's a slightly faster ADS and a slightly faster fire rate, but the op itself, my personal favorite weapon in the game, and Brantham showing us why in that very breath, takes Max out of the equation and gives CSI the numbers advantage once more. CSI is yet to win a round, to my memory, where they did not have the numbers advantage at the very start, but as Molloy ties this one up, let's see if even that numbers advantage is going to be enough to keep this team alive.
Tazikin.
Terrible showstopper, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was a scared.
Bit of a panic fire, yeah.
Exactly, they got panicked. Now Brantham, gotta see what this operator can be done, but no, the shot, all it hits is wall. Back over through Lamps. Wall, not this time. It's gonna be Bliss's body, and it's gonna be Bliss out of here. The numbers are still tied 3-3, but despite being planted for Molloy University, obviously gives them the advantage. And even with Brantham on that operator, TN6 has to come up right behind them. But guess who's on? The lurk is Rubentis. chewing through each and every single player in front of them like it's a piece of gum.
What a comical elimination.
It really is, right? You think about that. Now try and go for the defuse. AMG.
9 bullets. Oh, and again, Rubentis is just behind you. Somebody's got to turn around. That is 3 eliminations, 4 for Rubentis on the round. 10th one, hitting the 10 bomb early here, round 7. Just, I mean, truly a comical round at its finest.
Brantham had that operator, right, Septilins? They were doing so much with it. They don't have operator. They don't have happiness. Most importantly, Septilins, they don't have money. You know, they don't got nothing. They don't have any money for the gotchas anymore.
That's tough. That's tough. The operator is the strongest weapon in the game because it's the most expensive by, like, a lot. 4,700 credit weapon. And Max has one of their own, but a Blade Storm out from Brantham here. I really like that call. However, you gotta hit those knives and... Okay, never mind.
Max doesn't even need to use the operator, not when TN6 is on the other side. Backing them up. Always reliable. Wait a minute! Ooh!
Golly!
Max, they're just built different. Oh, Rubentis scaling up. The tip of the barrel. It was so close. Shattered, almost gone. Almost is the most important thing here. And they're catching up on the back foot. Shattered and AMG, the 2 players. You don't have to be so careful, but it felt like Shattered just stood there.
Just stood still. Got taken down, and TN6 picks up AMG. Oh my goodness! Max with the quick scope onto Loney, who does not have to be a Loney anymore. Molloy, 7th round victory off of a near flawless op performance from It Really Is Max. Who is that guy? It really is Max.
It's just happening again and again, right? Where Max uses this operator in ways that it shouldn't be used. It's an attack operator. You don't see attack operators. You're not supposed to.
Especially on a map like this. Maybe on like something with long line of sights. Maybe an Ascent mid, or maybe if you're looking at a map like Lotus, right? But here on Bind, one of, if not the most claustrophobic map in the game, and Max is just dogging on people with this operator right now.
Oh, and Brantham tries to take the shot. Misses, and so gives up U-Haul space. This is just going to be continuous push-up from Max. They're still going! I don't even believe it. Wait a minute. Unreal. You don't see that very often. A miss from Max, but they're still alive, and they can still do the damage that they are very well known for. Back over here onto the B-side, AMG. It's just going to go ahead and lock it down, force them through teleporter, and now this might be able to create a funnel. You grab the ultimate orb. And I say this though, but they're not leaving.
Well, take a look at the 2 members that haven't left A site, right? It's almost like this lockdown is intentionally trying to bait Molloy into rotating where people are already ready for them. The Nightfall will come out though, and Molloy are going to be doubling down on this opening. Max getting hyper aggressive with the op. They dive in, and it's barely working, but it's working.
Barely working indeed. AMG alive. Same can't be said for the other 2 players that they were working with. Having to walk through it. You can't, though, because Max is going to rip your head off. 2v3.
Oh!
Make that the 3v1.
I'm not even sure the crosshair are lined up.
I don't know how Max does it every time, Septilins, but they do.
He's just so good. He's just so good.
And even when they don't land the shots right, they are alive. It's the most important thing that you could be as an operator player.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just the idea
that
you don't know where the op is. Yeah, the threat. Time runs out. Brantham might be able to pick up an exit frag here. Massive if they can, and they do. They're gonna peek it again. No!
Oh no! Oh no! All of a sudden, none of it is worthwhile. Oh, that is devastating. And Molloy, they are just starting to kick butt and take names here. 8-1 on the first half of split. Bind. Dang it.
Listen, Septilins, I don't blame you for getting the map confused right now, because I'm sure we're all confused and discombobulated. How is Max doing this? What's their aim routine? Are they drinking any gamer fuel? Is Fortnite really the secret to being a better Valorant player? So many questions.
Might be proof in the pudding.
Well,
check this out again. Another aggressive hit toward A site here. Molloy already has that advantage. 2 players going to be here for the defense of CSI, and the other 3 going to be forced to rotate in late. But already Molloy finds that opening elimination, which makes this site so much harder to take. More so now as your duelist has gone down to boot.
that they have still inside of Lamb Sazakin. Not a single site to be found. Not a single bit of information given to them, except for their own death. Now up on the high ground, Max, even with 5 HP, they don't care. They do not give anything. Lonnie wanted to set themselves up for maybe using their ult. TN6 is going to set them for their own death. Molloy University, 9-1. 2 more rounds to go. But this half has already been set in stone. Septilence, no matter if CSI wins these next 2.
Yeah, this next half is gonna matter quite a bit, but this one is written in stone, Sam. We are looking at a very dominant performance from Molloy, 9-1. We talked about the mythical 11-1 half that we anticipated possibly seeing back on Split, and then things got shaken up quite a bit, and then all of a sudden it went to not a good place for Molloy. They were just barely able to scrape that victory out. CSI, though, they hear a showstopper, they send it out, and they're going to catch it with the body of Shattered, whose bones just did the very namesake. Bomb Buddy out, Tazykin down, and already Molloy, they get the 2, they dip, they're out of there. Uh-oh.
Lonnie, only good for the 1. Rubent is good for 3. Then can't even use that operator. Trying to pull it out, but Max is so
buying him
fast. The speed from Max and landing these shots is next level. And we might see a next kill from them. What?
No way! The double down is so crazy. He's like, I'll miss whatever. Take your head off anyway. My goodness, what a showing from Max in particular right now. Rubentus goes in, finds the early frag, gives him the numbers advantage, and with that numbers advantage, Max is like, all right, baby, let's run it down. And they go out and they do just that. I've got to say, I mean, they are playing phenomenal through and through on the side of Molloy right now.
I found words again. I know how to speak now. Septilence, I lost it for a second there. Max shatters me every single time. And now, I can't believe it! Through the smoke on a tour de force, Lonnie had given probably a half a pixel of their body before the smoke had gone away. It doesn't really matter at this point. Use the ultimates if you got a Molloy University, because you are throwing it into the face of College of Staten Island all alone by themselves. Finally, Max's reign of terror has been ended, but now Braintham has to go through the rest of Molloy. 1, 2, 3! Might be possible here. Brantham, all on your shoulders, my friend.
Great flash,
But
even better
on the
Elam.
backside! What a read here from TN6. 1v1 now, Brantham. You're really gonna use the operator? That's a bold choice. Okay, I see why now. They have the blades. They don't know where the last player is. They don't know that Bliss is inside of Lamps. You ping the spike. Gotta hear it. All right, there's all of the information that you need. The Prowler coming in through there. But you're running out of time. You need to try and make this happen. The Haunt is gonna give the information, but Brantham doesn't miss! And Brantham gives us the ace. Brantham saves it for CSI, and Brantham may have given a little bit of a moral boost going into the next half of a 10-2.
Hey, listen, credit where credit is due. That was a very strong performance from Brantham. They stopped the bleeding, but the bullet has found some pretty deep purchase here. 10-8 round deficit for CSI to try and turn around right now. It's not impossible, but by golly, Sam, is it not going to be easy?
Easy's never the name of the game when it comes to these maps, right? Molloy University didn't have an easy time on Split. College of Staten Island, if they can do the same thing that Molloy did to them, well, that's all they can really hope for at this point, right? They need to. Otherwise, it's all over.
Rotation up through Hookah, so already getting a change of pace. We saw Molloy run it down pretty aggressively. It was either B long or A for a majority of the map. Brantham can't get out of the way fast enough, and Max gets a little too confident. Will go down, but got theirs at the end of the day. Karma finds A and G, and Molloy almost already have this round with a nice little bow wrapped up on top.
Wow, they're rolling through them. Shattered. Look at what they're doing right now, Septilence. They're going back and forth like, huh. So everyone's gone. Everyone's dead. I'm alone. I'm waiting to see if someone's going to be bold enough to try and pop right back out. Bliss doesn't need to be bold. They just need to stand firm, plant their feet down to the ground, fire off some shots, bring Molloy University within 2 rounds of victory.
Molloy going for a pretty aggressive buy up here. They've got the shotguns online, the Guardians to boot, and as we see CSI going for the bonus up, Sam, this is something that a lot of people have a lot of opinions about. When you're down in a deficit like this, when you're finding yourself in an kind of economic scenario, do you go for the buy up here, or do you try to save until the next round where you know you can rifle it? And truly, I don't think there is a right answer. It's all about comfortability, and right now, you're probably feeling pretty uncomfortable because you've got a bullet between your eyes.
Max is comfortable on the flip side. Max's determination to just continue to stand up there could be what brings Molloy University through the rest of this round. And then AMG stuck. There's nowhere they can go. Blinded. Can't see anything. Firing, spraying to protect themselves and make sure that everything is going to be okie dokie. You gotta realize though, you gotta be making the call outs here at this point that, hey, all right, they're inside of this. Oh, Karma, if you're gonna be insane like this, the turret says AMG. But it doesn't stay there for very long because they only have 13 HP. And on the other side of the door is going to be Bliss. Full health. Perfectly fine. Smelling fresh as a daisy. Rubentus, same can be said for them. With a Bucky. AMG, your choices are limited here, my friend.
Oh, the peak! Gotta respect the confidence. Gotta respect the confidence.
You got to. Choice is gone. Molloy University. Match series point.
Series points, and to think that we've come from CSI being up 7-1 back on that first map, back on Split, to Molloy being up 12-2 here on Bind. A near perfect run from Molloy up to this point, and I'd be surprised to see that momentum stop here, Sam. They are just 1 away. Max finding 3 eliminations per death right now, 22-7 on the board, and as Karma goes for a spray and pray, Tazikin takes the power player out of the way, and CSI seeing the best odds they've seen today.
All right, one less off the scope for College of Staten Island. Maybe another one coming through. TN6.
Never mind.
Flash, peak, dead. And then you look at what Karma's doing on Anoden. The god has stepped foot on the map here. And as they are a vengeful and wrathful one. Molloy, 4 players.
No way.
And then Rubentus closing it out inside of Hookah. Molloy University 13-2, the quarterfinals. When we saw on Split, a little shaky on Bind, complete and total dominance.
You gotta wonder if they just weren't warmed up or what, but by golly, Rubentus and Max were beyond warmed up at that point in the kill feed more than anybody else. Elimination after elimination, opening after opening, and performance just improving as the rounds continued forward, Sam. I'm really blown away. I expected Molloy to do well, but to do 13-2 well, that is truly out of the field of expectation.
It's leaving me in kind of a speechless moment here, Septilins. Molloy University were playing out of their minds tonight. Okay, I take that back. They were playing out of their minds for like the second half of Split onwards, and then on Bind.
They had to get there, but they got there.
They had to shake off. They had to shake off some of the jitters. They gotta get warmed up, and they gotta really start pushing and putting themselves out there. Well, what a way to go about doing it. However, Septilins, with a victory from our team, of course, is going to have to be an interview to go along with it. Before we go, though, I want to take a quick look at stats from Max.
Absolutely. I believe it's Max in particular whose stats we're going to be taking a look at. I got to highlight them just right before the end of that map, and I don't actually know. I think Max got no additional eliminations, so I think we're looking at 22-7 as the final maps. Those not final maps, final KD. Sorry, I got a little debated there. There it is. 47 elims in total, perhaps, across both maps on the Raze and Chamber, respectively. 13 first bloods. That is an unbelievably high number, especially because I'm more than confident at least 8 of those come from our second map.
And then you think about what we just saw here on Bind, a 13-2 map, so 15 rounds total.
Yeah.
That Max got 22 kills. 22. For a 15-round game. Most of those, I'm sure, We're with an operator, an attack operator,
be.
an attack tour de force. It's these precision weapons that Max really shines through with, and it's so bright that it's seared through anything the College of Staten Island tried to throw back at them. So Molloy University, and especially Max, big time congratulations to this team. We are going to go to that break that I mentioned, however, here, Septilence, and we're going to be bringing in an interview, so don't go anywhere. We got a lot of questions to ask Molloy. Nothing less than a perfect series is what Molloy University was looking for tonight, Septilence, and that is what they got. And so what did we get? Well, we got an interview with them, of course, and not just one, we couldn't just limit it to one player, Septilence. We
Not
had to
even
get,
two.
Not even two. We had to get like three of them. Look at these gamers right here. We got Rubentis, we got TN6, and we got Max. So first of all, gentlemen, I want to say big congratulations. Thank you for joining us on here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for having us.
You got to give it to us straight, though, okay? Like, you three were insane tonight. What's going on there, okay? Okay, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to walk back a little bit.
Okay.
A little rocky on split.
Little rocky.
Okay.
We'll start.
Little
Okay.
rocky. But then the second half, and then Bind, completely different story. What's going on here? How do I get as good as you? Three.
Yeah, well, we start off a little rocky. I would say the main reason why is because those recent Cypher buffs kind of threw us for a little bit of a loop. You can see we're still playing that KJ, and so, it's something we're going to have to adapt to the meta. And so as they were more defender-sided, you could see that we struggled a little bit. But once we had our strats in together, once we see that we had our openings on the other half, we were able to bring it back and really talk it through. Another thing is, once we started getting Calm Cool Collective, you see we called plenty of timeouts. And kept us really cool and kept us in the game together as a team. And so our coordination has gotten stronger and stronger as we played together, and it's been great ever since. And so we were able to pull through.
Yeah, and I really, you bring up a good point there of kind of shifting and changing with the meta, right? And this is back to Split in particular.
Yeah.
So you guys had Karma on Omen, which I thought was very interesting. I feel we more traditionally see an Astra or a Viper in that position. Not that Omen is bad, he's just not as common as those other two. So what locks in that choice? What is it that brings Karma on the Omen out instead of something like a Viper or an Astra?
Honest answer, we've tried it with Astra. Not an Astra player, but the real answer is that we as a team know that we should play to our strengths, right?
Sure,
There's
absolutely.
no reason to play a meta if it's our weakness, right? And so if our comp is speed and we like playing fast and a little aggressive, sometimes you could see that it costed us a little aggressive, but
Just a few times.
a couple times, we like to have fun here, but it is our strengths, and so we got to play to our strengths. And so I think ultimately the decision to throw an Omen on gets us a little bit faster as a team, gets us a little bit more coordinated, and that's what he's comfortable on. So we're going to play our strengths rather than trying to throw him on something and make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm always a fan of play what you know instead of what you think you have to. And speaking of agent select, you got to play something really interesting today, TN6. You got to play a Sky on Bind when the enemy team did not have one.
Yeah.
So did that help you really kind of get to play hyper aggressive, get to play? You mentioned, going for some overextensions, going for some aggressive plays. Do you feel like you got to get away with a lot more simply because there was never a fear of flashes?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have too many flashes. That's very true. And so we were able to kind of gather space. I think the comp we've been running with the Fade Sky is something you don't see too often, but it's really good, again, with our play style. We could be a little less slow pace compared to like a Sova on a team, or maybe even that Viper comp. Again, that's just not us. You see oftentimes a Brim Viper, and although we scrimmed against it and we've played it before, it's not our strengths. And so why are we going to play something that works for other teams but isn't going to work for us? So despite the fact that they had no Sky, they did have other agents that were going to possibly punish us, but we were able to overcome it with our util combos and coordination. So
I mean, everything that this team had tonight was unreal. Bind was a just masterclass in what you need to do to win on this map, and then what you need to do on this map and winning it out 13-2. And so now, you guys have cleared through the quarterfinals. You guys have now pushed through even further. Any team that you are looking forward to taking on?
I mean, any team that's looking forward to the future. I'm excited to play any team, but I'm also excited to beat any team. So I'm not scared anywhere. We're taking it down. We're going for it, right? We want to prove ourselves as the best team in the league, and there's no denial of that. So any team that comes our way, we're gonna take them down. So I'm very excited though for future weeks.
And I know Septilence and myself are very excited to see you, and I'm sure everyone in chat right now also very excited to see that as well. But Rubentis, TN6, and Max, this is going to be interesting because I always ask this question, but anybody, the three of you want to shout out?
Any shout outs, you guys? You got a shout out? No? No? I'll do a little round of shout outs. Shout outs to everyone that's in chat watching. I appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to the casting crew, by the way. You guys always do a fantastic job. Cool Scoots, especially. He never gets mentioned, but in the background, I mean, you see those observer cams, they're just fantastic. And shout out to the rest of the players of the team that aren't here. Rosie, our Sentinel player, has COVID, and so she couldn't make it to the room, unfortunately, today. Yeah, and same thing with Larry. But we're excited to keep playing, and that's it. So yeah.
I know we're excited to have you gamers here. We're excited to see if Molloy University is going to be able to all of the way. And after tonight's performance, well, it's looking just more and more certain each and every passing second. But guys, gentlemen, we've kept you here long enough. Thank you so much for joining us on this interview. And like I said, we're very excited to see what's coming up.
Yes, thank you very much for having us, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Yes.
All right, Septilins, how amazing are they, right? That was awesome.
Sam, I'll say this on stream right now. I was just saying this in the general production chat. That's probably one of the best interviews I've been a part of in a long time. Great answers, great enthusiasm, and a lot of fun. Makes me like a team that I was already liking a whole lot even more. So Molloy, definitely a team after my heart, to say the very least.
A team after my heart too, but a team that's also after getting some big ones. This train, it just feels like it's just gonna keep going until they take it all of the way. But for us here tonight on ECC, that is going to be it. But make sure you hit the follow button, because Septilins, there's like a whole schedule coming up if you want to enlighten us about it.
Oh my goodness, a whole schedule indeed. Tomorrow, we've got 6 p.m. EST ECC Overwatch, and then at 8 p.m. ECAC League of Legends, which I'm not super excited about, but I'm sure somebody out there is. I'm sure you guys are going to have a great time playing attention to League of Legends, but that game makes me feel like my brain is made out of acid, so not probably the one that I'm best at. But either way, we've got a lot of great things going on at Esports U. There's something going on essentially every single day. I know we've got a broadcast coming up on this Saturday and Sunday as well, so definitely drop a follow on the channel to keep an eye out, guys, because we never stop moving here at Esports U.
We never do. Except for right now, where we're gonna.
Except for right now, but usually
we're about to go offline. But like you said, hit that follow button, because there's still a lot more exciting program in the next few days. A lot of action that's going to be happening, and we hope to see all of you there on the next broadcast.